Hey, today I want to show you how to connect your CloudWorks account to your public cloud provider by using cloud credentials. So right now we're looking at our CloudWorks dashboard. And if I come over here to the left and I hover over this key icon, you can see cloud credentials is the second item in the list. So I click on that. And first we land on this OpenStack tab. You can see I've got one registered, but I want to actually add some Azure cloud credentials. And you see, I don't have any listed. Let's solve that problem. I'm going to click on this Add Cloud Credentials button, select Azure, and it's going to tell me here are the 4 things I need to provide to start. A name, so I'm going to call this Azure Connect, and then a client ID, client secret, and tenant ID. So those are all things that we would provide from our Azure account. If I come into my terminal, you can see I've already got the Azure CLI installed. If you want instructions on how to do that, you can come to the Microsoft website and they have all the information you need on how to install for Windows, Mac, Linux, run it in a Docker container, however you need. So coming back to terminal, what I'm going to do, clear this out, I'm going to first log in, AZ login, and that's going to open a browser window. That window is going to allow me to pick an account. You can see I have 2 accounts listed. I'm going to pick the first one. And then if I come back to terminal, it's asking me which subscription under that account I want to use. I only have 1 listed, so I'm going to hit 1. Great. So now I'm all logged in and I can access my account and my subscription from the CLI. So from here, 1 command is all I need to create a service principal that can connect my CloudWorks account to my Azure account. And that's AZ, AD, SP. You can see it's autofilling right here. So create for RBAC. The flag role is going to get owner as a value. Now that's a pretty broad range of privileges granted to the service principal. You might want to get a little more fine-grained, but that's what I'm using for this demo. Scopes, it's going to have full control over my subscription. So the subscription under my Azure account. That's going to allow me to create resources using this service principal. Great. I'm going to hit enter and it's going to print out some new information for me. And this is all the information that I need in order to connect CloudWorks to Azure. So the first item here, app ID, that's going to be the same as our client ID. So we come back into CloudWorks, paste that in. All right, so now we have a client ID. Fantastic. We're going to come back over to terminal and copy this password. That's going to be the same as the client secret. Come back into CloudWorks, paste that in. And then finally, the tenant ID. Copy this. Bring it into CloudWorks, paste it in as my Azure tenant ID. And now everything just checked out. Do we have access to any subscriptions? Yes, we do. The one that I selected in the CLI. I'm going to select that one, and it's going to ask me which location I want to target with these cloud credentials. Wait for it to load, wait for it to validate. It's going to load all of the locations available to me. Here we go. Select East US. And then finally, which zone count? So how many zones do I want to deploy to? I'm going to select 3. And with that selected, I can now add cloud credentials. Notice the button didn't highlight until all the information was populated. Great. I click add cloud credentials and great. It's all set. I don't want to save that password. So my cloud credentials have been added successfully. And now I can use this to start creating resources, Kubernetes clusters in Azure. How awesome is that? And it was pretty simple and straightforward. In our next video, we'll look at how to create a project so that we can actually add a Kubernetes cluster in Azure. Be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching.